Hello, finally found a minute to do a little video. As you know, I've been MIA for a couple of days, but I've still been working in the background, not to worry. On Sunday, as a matter of fact, I had my weigh in, and this week I actually went up by 0.9 pound. As I always encourage my clients, whether the scale gives you an increase or whether you register a decrease at the scale, it's always a good idea to evaluate the previous week to see how things went. So in my case, I actually wanted to touch on several points. So in terms of what went well, and I took notes because I wanted to make sure that I touched on everything. So what went well? I'm still tracking my food intake and my water intake. I'm still working out on a regular basis. I'm still managing my stress, and I'm definitely making sure that I stay connected to my spiritual source because that's very, very important with me. Those of you who know me know that my faith plays a very, very big role in my journey to wellness, and that's going to be a whole video in itself. In terms of what needs to be improved. I had 2 slide back days, as I mentioned in my previous videos, and those of you who have not had a chance to know what a slide back is, please feel free to visit the YouTube channel or to look back on the things that I posted previously, and you'll be able to see what it means. I'm still not getting enough sleep. I'm waking up too many times in a rush, and that doesn't give me enough time for the planning that's so important to my journey. On the days that I don't wake up with a lot of energy, I'm tired, I'm dragging during the day, and I need to make sure that that's kept to a minimum because it actually is very detrimental to my progress. And I need to begin including weight training. As I mentioned briefly in the videos before, I've actually spoken to a personal trainer already, and I'm actually at the gym right now to find out more information about how much it's going to cost, to find out if I can afford to work with somebody one-on-one, even if it's just for a few weeks, just somebody to set me up so that I can learn the proper form and know what to do so that I don't injure myself and that I can keep progressing. So I will report about that next time. In terms of, I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes as I go. Give me a minute. I lost my, oh yeah. So basically in terms of the week, I have spoken to a few people, and the message that I'm walking away with is that I definitely need to switch gears. Even with myself, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what would I tell a client week 3? A person who has been moving forward, focusing, but is not yet feeling like they're completely entrenched. And for me, it's about switching gears, getting fully in, focusing, making sure that discipline is not a negotiated part of the journey. I'm basically gonna have to go all in. And the little saying that's stuck in my head from the weekend on is, where there is no struggle, there is no growth. And I'm obviously probably misquoting, but you get the gist of it. And so for me, at this point, it's all in. I know that I talked about flexibility, and I know that I talked about not making a big deal about and not berating yourself and being too hard on yourself. But at the same time, you also need to be accountable. You also need to be disciplined. You also need to make sure that you're moving in the right direction, that you're giving yourself a fair chance to really, really accomplish your goal. And the only way that you can do that is by making sure that you're not selling yourself short by giving in to little temptations that are just sabotaging your own thing. And I'm thinking of my daughter at this point, and I'm going to say all that again in the I, because I'm still talking as if I'm talking to a client, and I really should be talking to myself. So here we go. I am going to make sure that this week I focus on the journey by making sure that I focus on what needs to be done, which means tracking my food. I need to exercise regularly. I want to include the weight training that I mentioned. I need to get to bed on time so that I have plenty of energy, so that I won't be distracted and detracted from my path. And I also need to hold myself accountable and not cut myself short, sell myself short by giving in to temptations that's just sabotaging my efforts. There, see, that was perfect, Thais, right? She also told me I need to look at the camera, which is the reason why I'm going back and forth with this thing. I told you guys I'm keeping it real and I'm still a novice at this whole video thing, and I'm getting pointers from my 20-year-old who is pretty harsh when it comes to the critic in terms of the video editing and whatnot. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm at the gym. I'm gonna head out and I will see you guys soon. And please, please, please feel free with your comments to hold me accountable, because I really want to move in the right direction. I have a vision. I know what the goal looks like. I know what the goal feels like. And I need to keep that in my mind so that I can stay on track and not get distracted by little things that actually are not even so enjoyable. I miss it when I don't work out. I don't feel good when I don't eat well. I definitely don't like when I don't sleep well enough. All these things that I'm implementing and that I'm imposing on myself are actually done in love as usual, because I know that those things are good for me. I just need the discipline, I need the encouragement, and I thank you for the support. And once again, to our health, yours and mine, in kindness and in wellness.